Hello. Today I kind of wanted to talk about what I've kind of applied and why I use the things that I do. Um, I've never really held grudges over people. I guarantee you, there's some people that they don't really understand what I'm trying to do and why I'm trying to apply it the way I do. Um, in my personal opinion, I think there's a lot of how should I say, a lot of sleight of hand being applied all around us. I think there's a lot of people around us that try to subjugate others in very subtle ways, and because of that, I I don't really have a lot of trust in a lot of people. I'm one of the most skeptical people alive. I don't hold on to things very tightly unless it meant something to me sentimentally wise or emotionally wise. Um, but the biggest thing I want to say is that I've never really cared about the gender, the color, all that shit. I think it's just more labels in order for us to say we're separate from them. It's a we can easily do a them versus us, you know what I mean, kind of theory. We can apply something to where you feel once you have a label and once you have something applied to something, then you're able to have that certain amount of control over it. Um, and to me, having that is in its own way a divide and conquer. And I've always said this where I think the most the easiest way to do that. I mean, before it was by countries where they did divide and conquer by separating those and applying that, and everyone becomes skeptical and becomes fighting each other, and then after that, you just kind of subjugate them one at a time. Um, for me, I've always wondered how would you do it this time? If you wanted to divide and conquer, how would you do it? Because it requires no energy from you to apply it, other than the energy output from those that believe whatever they wish to believe. So for me, I think the easiest way to do it is by internet, because everybody has their own individual thoughts, which is a good thing, of course. But the moment people themselves start dividing themselves and start not trying to at least understand another side of the story, or at least not trying to say, well, because I only understand it from this view, and everybody says it from this whole outlook of social media where this is good, this is bad, and there's just so much gray in the middle. And for me, having seen that in its own presence, I've kind of understood to say where I don't I don't always trust that, because there everybody says it's yes or no, and to me when I look at it, I think it's like, there's a lot of circumstances available where I'm not able to understand it, or maybe another human being is not able to understand what I'm trying to say, which is kind of normal nowadays. For me, I like to break down and break rules that way. I don't like believing in that where it's got to be this way, it's gonna be this way or the highway. And to me, I don't want to hold on to that. I In my personal belief, I've always felt like, me in some way losing as much control as I can to do whatever the fuck I want. It gave me in its own presence more control. But over time, I've noticed the toll it brings. It brings huge toll to your body, to your soul, to your mind. And from me taking that all in at once, it it made me realize that not only am I capable of understanding everything, or even just a sliver of it. I couldn't even just grasp a sliver of it. It humbles me to realize how much time I have in this world, and to say I may not know enough or a lot, or even just touch bases of what I'm looking for, but I sure as hell can try. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that. We're forgetting to not just try, to just go for it. And including myself, there in some ways, a lot of people think I should be trying another thing and doing another. But to me, I I have a certain particular amount of goals that I'm looking for, goals that I want for myself too. And those are what I'm applying first. And once I figure one goal out, then I'll knock out another one. Then I'll go for the other one. And that's how I've always been. Maybe I shouldn't be that way, but that's who I am, and I accept that the most. Thank you.